Yeah, and then it gets banned. Snake just say, okay, Doinb, you've done that a couple of times. Let's remove it from your champion pool.
And this is a best of 5 theory, right? You let it through twice. If it beats you 2 times, you go, all right, we don't think it is a good ban, but we will at least make them beat us with something else. If they're going to beat us 3-0, they're not going to beat us with a Victor mid lane.
Well, thank goodness.
That said,
if you're a ban this time.
Yeah, Qiao Gu staying pretty consistent on the bans. This has been the MO against Snake in fact, pretty much Snake's entire career and existence as a team has been kind of double whammy bans. In the first split, it was against Baka on the Xerath as soon as he got into the playoffs. This time around, it's Flandre. And not that Flandre's champion pool is as limited as Baka, but the fact that Snake are so easily undone in draft phase is a major red flag going forward.
Well, the thing about the champions that they're banning out against Flandre is it's like, okay, we know he's probably going to beat V in lane, but let's just get him something that cannot translate to like steamrolling the rest of the team. Like Riven, you give her 4 kills, like your AD carry is never safe again. Similar. Wow.
Wow, okay. So normally we would suspect that the priority pick would be Gangplank.
Yeah.
But with GP banned from blue side, is the priority Kalista?
Yeah, potentially will be the case.
Or is it Lulu or is it Azir? Of course, Lulu, Azir, both of them banned away throughout this series.
Yeah.
Good call, play-by-play caster.
Yeah, look, you don't get it much, but sometimes there's a gem. But Twitch is going to be banned away, so Snake just say, hang it all. We just want to leave all these picks open and grab as many of them as possible.
I think it's a response to they realize that Lulu is on the board as opposed to banned away.
Yeah, because what happens if they first round Lulu here, you'll be like, well, haha, we have Kog'Maw, and they're like, great, we take Twitch. And you're like, oh.
Instead, right now, Kalista being hovered. Now, Qiao Gu, they do have a very high win rate on blue side. Only 3 teams have ever beaten them from blue side over the course of the LPL. And the highest, so you look at that, okay, what is it about Qiao Gu on blue side that makes them different from red side? It's going to be your priority pick. Their highest pick champion from blue side is that Kalista, but as I finish that point, they go back to the first point, which was Lulu. So either way, I'm going to just...
And now, no, I really like this because the mind game continues. Do you now take Kalista on red side? Or do you feel like you have to take Kog'Maw? What's more devastating? Like Lulu Kalista, Lulu Kog'Maw? I would personally say Lulu Kog. But in saying that, high mobility goes even further through the roof. The reason I don't like Lulu Kalista is Lulu actually makes Kalista much harder to play. It sounds stupid, but you run that quick and pop around the rift. Like, there is very little margin for error on Kalista already. Like, and then you add 3 times speed into it, and you're like, well, that was silly.
The issue is that not that Martin can't play Kalista, but he's going to be a much better Kog'Maw player in just terms of his comfort picks and his comfort champions.
And they've got kind of the same idea here, you know, Azir pushes everyone back. Kog'Maw has his safe zone where he can set up and just chunk people out.
The sit and spit.
Mm-hmm. Well, QG now considering their next 2 picks. What are they going to augment with this Lulu? Swift thinks, okay, if it ain't broke, I ain't going to fix it. He's going to pick away the Elise, and looks like Braum this time going to go into the hands of Qiao Gu.
I am very curious what the AD carry is going to be for Qiao Gu since Twitch was banned away and Kog'Maw was forced into second rotation as a response to the Lulu. Do you look at Vayne? Do you look at Lucian?
Ashe.
Oh, please, Ashe.
They got Braum.
They've got Braum now.
I'm so ready for the Ashe.
And then Flandre.
I don't think they can pick it because Olaf's still available, but...
Likewise, they have, oh, never mind. Azir's already locked in, so it's not like you can even look towards... Flandre will play Yasuo.
Yep.
So.
That's Flandre will play Azir. I've seen it in
has played Azir top.
I've seen it in his history. I'm not laughing. He was like one of the original Stinger, Rylai's Crystal Scepter, Nash's Tooth, top lane Azirs.
Okay.
The most impressive thing about Flandre's history is in the LSPL, he used to run around, not be a one-trick pony, but he had a very limited champion pool. And his entrance into the LPL, he actually entered on Rumble, which was a champion that we pretty much never saw him play in the LSPL. You're like, okay, this guy's a fizz one-trick pony. Maybe he'll try to cheese you with a Riven or something like that. But opening up into the LPL, starting his career into the professional circuit, he made himself a very well-rounded top laner, able to pick up the likes of Gnar, Maokai, Hecarim, Rumble, but then still drawing these priority picks at the end of the season of Gangplank, Fiora, Riven.
Well, TNT considering the Kalista, maybe thinking about what Spawn pointed out there, the fact that please don't whimsy me, I'll be so confused about what's going on. and decides to think about a Tristana as well. But what does TCT grab? What does he pick up for either V or Doinb, depending on where that Lulu's going?
Yeah, and the Jugger Trist is definitely growing in popularity. You know, it started, sorry for international people, in the OPL. We played it first, if you go back and take a look. But a lot of popularity. We played it when it wasn't good, though, so I want to preface that. A lot of popularity now in the EU LCS, in the NA LCS, and I think it even had a game or two in Korea lately, and now started to move over.
Speaking of Korea, the Malphite's going to get locked in.
Oh, I'm so excited for Malphite finally in the top lane. And this synergizes so well with how V plays the game and what's important to him. The flanking teleport, the massive ultimate that has devastating AoE potential.
I am so confused.
Diana top. Into the Malphite.
It's Flandre
You
on
do you.
Azir top.
Look, they haven't locked it in yet. So Ella at the moment,
You
just
know,
hovering
it's
to
fine.
Diana.
Last chance to qualify for Worlds. Might as well play Azir Diana.
Yeah. I don't see it being a problem. 15 seconds to go. Still thinking that the Luna Lady herself is going to be the one locked in. Okay. Okay. There's 3 seconds to go, Snake.
You don't have your hands on your keyboard right now.
Yeah,
Or your mouse.
Ella's just making sure we're spending as much time thinking about this as possible, and Diana's going to be locked in. So, don't know where it's going.
It's going top lane because
He's got
there's
the
no
teleport.
teleport on you.
Yeah.
True. You can switch, though. Okay, so Flandre going to be picking up the Diana in the top lane.
Flandre.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Diana Malphite. I don't think I've ever seen that played in a competitive game of League of Legends.
Oh, this is going to be fun.
I like the matchup, though, for Diana, you know? Like, she does rely a little bit on auto attacks, but the fact that, you know, you get to move past Malphite being able to stack armor is a good thing, right?
Malphite with magic resist is actually really devastating because
Yeah,
of the way
that's
his
true.
Q works. You get to go Abyssal Scepter. Double Duran's Ring, Abyssal Scepter, Malphite just hurts so hard. And you look at how much magic damage is on the other side. So he's going to have the luxury of doing that. Do you know who the real loser of this is? Martin. Because if he ever gets hit by an unstoppable force, he dies.
Yeah.
So Flandre doesn't win. V doesn't win. Martin loses.
The confidence, though, Snake, we've talked about this through the entire split of the LPL, making roster changes deep into the LPL season, experimenting, picking up you, swapping between Beast and ZZR, rotating Crystal and Martin, and now in their last chance to qualify for Worlds, they lose here, they go home, Flandre locks in Diana top.
Look, I've seen crazier things happen. Not sure when, but I'm sure I have. Doinb is going to take the Lulu into the Azir, though, as you back on the control mages. Definitely something that we wanted from him as TNT. He's going to be on Jinx. Martin taking the hyper carry himself, going to grab himself Kog'Maw. TCT on the Braum this time. Ella and TCT actually just switching champions for this game.
I just like how they're both back-to-back with their arms crossed.
Yeah, very stylish.
Yep, super cute stuff, but it's all on the line now for Snake. They have to win this game. So let's get into it. Okay, and we are onto the rift, ladies and gentlemen, for Qiao Gu versus Snake. Game number 3. Qiao Gu up 2 games. Snake going to have to go full Invictus Gaming if they're going to take this one. And I think they have the tools to do it. They have the superpower pick of the Diana top.
They got the counter pick. So Flandre, obviously comfortable in what he's doing here.
Yeah.
He's been the most consistent piece.
Can we just reiterate the fact that Snake had the final pick in the draft? Wouldn't necessarily call it the counter pick at this point.
They had the final pick in the draft. Flandre obviously very confident in this matchup because he picked into it.
True.
He's been the most consistent piece of Snake over the course of the series. That said, you did fantastic damage last game to champions on that Ahri, so shout out to him. Very important now that you is on his Azir. He's a fantastic Azir player.
It's very true.
So finally, they switch it up. Flandre's back on his carry champion, but you on his insurance policy. Not playing the assassins, not playing the Fizz, not playing the Ahri. Back on the control mage, back in the comfort zone.
And it honestly looks like Snake would rather play this hectic style of League of Legends, not the standard 5v5 team fights, you know. With the Diana, she's going to be looking for the huge flanks. You're going to have a lot of responsibility of trying to shove QG off the back line and then re-engage the fights. And that's a difficult way to play against QG because they've shown time and time again that they're really good at fighting you.
Flandre is going to start on some puppies here and just teleport towards his top lane. You can see Swift getting some help there by V.
Diana's actually one of the champions that you can do 2 camps level 1 without burning a potion if you take your W and you have attack speed quints. So I'm not saying that Flandre ran attack speed quints, but technically you can do Raptors, you can do your Wolves and run to Raptors and not burn a pot and take them both out, which gives you a huge experience advantage if you're able to pull it off.
Speaking of experience advantage, TNT already hit that level 2, able to get the zap across onto Martin as well. Jinx, another champion that's very good at setting off the concussive
Did they
blows.
give Flandre the blue buff again? He has 4 creeps. Please show me the Diana.
Did he kill a ward?
Meanwhile, in the mid lane.
Yeah, mid lane, trading damage backwards and forwards. We do want to see the top lane at some point. We could put in a request. That's the bottom line.
We're getting closer.
Are we?
There's only one left. There we go.
Okay.
Nailed it. It's got the
buff
blue buff.
Flandre.
Yay.
So, did take an extra creep. Means that he has a lot of experience, as you can see. V needs to be careful.
We did also miss, I think, an attempted gank into that mid lane. Doinb's flash was burned, so doesn't have that summoner available, so good job from Beast. Although it looks like he actually traded his flash, so looking for the unburrow knockout.
Once again, Doinb on the teleport Lulu here in the mid lane. That's how he likes to play the champion. Uses it, gets back to lane very quickly.
Yeah, the fact that Qiao Gu do have the threat and arsenal of taking double teleport into this game, I think is a big key factor, especially against Flandre's late game lane or side wave control.
Yeah, certainly is. You need to be able to throw multiple people at this Diana. And arguably, Doinb's going to do a better job of it, being able to deny the kill as well as use that polymorph to see whether that is taken into consideration, whether V groups up with the team to start the fights, then Doinb is a person that's arriving a little bit later to augment everything that's happening.
And I know you like this spawn, but just to point this out, teams who use Lulu correctly by migrating her around the map into the correct sources, since she is technically a control mage, has great wave clear, especially when you have a Jinx on your team. There's just so much more protection against anti-siege on the lineup of Qiao Gu because you're able to move this Lulu around more freely now that she does have the double teleport. There should never be an instance where Qiao Gu are just losing free towers with Jinx and Lulu.
Yeah, 100%. You know, they should be able to start team fights whenever they want as well, Qiao Gu, because it's not like we have to wait for V to have these huge flanking plays. V just group up with the team, you know, start it up with the flash unstoppable force, and you can just allow Doinb to do everything else. It also ensures that you're getting farm onto your control mage, which is super important because they scale better with gold than anyone in the game. That's why they're such a high priority. So I really like this way of playing the Lulu pick.
Just really changes the dynamic of which champion we're going to see out in those side lanes come mid-game, late game. Definitely the Malphite needs to be grouped up in that 1v1 scenario.
At the moment, Malphite doing okay as far as keeping up in farm.
Malphite's
is pushing forward as much as possible.
So since the Malphite rework where his W got a lot more strength, Malphite is actually just outright brutal in the laning phase. You know, he still has problems in the late game that he's very ultimate reliant, but the change to his W means he's a much better champion to farm with because of how it changed the splash damage. He has an auto attack reset, and you can max out your E. You can still max out your E and just put points in the W second time around. So, like the place that Malphite's in, glad we're starting to see him play. I think he's certainly a very fun champion to watch run around the Rift, if nothing else, and should be able to get through that wall.
Well, TCT may have been caught out here. Snake with 3 members. Everyone piles on top of the Braum, but he stands behind Doinb. Is he going to be able to get out? The Ignite's put in there as Ella is going to grab himself first blood with the headbutt. That was close, though.
Again, Snake come up superior on this 0 to 10 minute timer. They seem to have the map figured out for the early game, but can they transition any sort of lead into the mid game, and more importantly, to close out this game?
Yeah, I think we can nearly guarantee that they will have a lead. It's been of different variants throughout these couple of games, but It's about whether they can hold on to it and do anything with it as the game progresses, because if anything, right now, they're even scarier without items, QG, just because of the inherent power in the kit of both Lulu
and Malphite.
And the Malphite.
Oh, Flandre taking ages to hit minions with his auto attacks now.
What build does he go for? Does he just go cooldown reduction because he doesn't think that he can get a Nash's Tooth in there, or does he still want to commit to Nash's Tooth?
Or do you get a Sheen?
Abyssal Scepter first item.
I like it.
Again, so much magic damage across from Qiao Gu. Likewise, he's got a lot of magic damage on his own side.
It's to the point where we've even seen Azir's by the Abyssal Scepter just because of the amount of popularity of being able to help your team reduce it. Helps out the Kog'Maw, helps out the Azir. So I like the fact that Flandre is able to grab it this time around. It means that you doesn't have to, but he does also have a Null Magic Mantle. Maybe just going for the Dade special of the Merc Threat.
Could be going for that. Could also be going for the Athenes on Holy Grail.
Yeah, true.
First item, he feels like it. His Codex can be helped by that one. But you're right, I mean, it could be the Nash's Tooth. Both of these champions are actually confusing in that regard. You have to think they're probably not going to grab Athenes and Holy Grail on the Diana, as that was an interesting interaction with the blue buff. Don't worry, we saw that one too. Sneaky little Sentinel.
That's a Spectator.
Yeah, you trying to find his way around, but Swift able to lock down that one. Ella actually forced to flash out. There's the ultimate from V, and you got to make him count, and he's going to do so thus far as Flandre finds his way in the back line, but he's going to get locked out and destroyed by QG, and that's a very early one team fight for this team, and they're accelerating already.
And I think you summed V up as a teleporting, flanking top laner that excels on the Maokais, on the Hecarim, and now doing it with Malphite, even better suited for that style of game playing, able to just completely crush the backline, and QG, earlier than before, get ahead.
That was a massive misstep for Snake. So the reason why Qiao Gu were able to be that aggressive and look for that type of invade is because look at the buy differences between TNT and Martin right now. That's a BF sword versus a dagger. So pulling the trigger, realizing that they were strong enough to fight that, and then rotating it immediately not only into the kill gold with the dragon, but Snake, you should know better. You shouldn't have fought that at all.
You should have known better, Snake.
This is the thing. I feel like both these teams are incredibly good at 5v5, but Snake are just making more mistakes across the board, not only in their decision-making, but again, their target selection in particular.
Yeah, and QG just good enough to make it count when they do make these mistakes. You know, they take the maximum every single time. And you see now V, added tankiness. He doesn't want anything to do with the offensive way to play Malphite, just goes for Respecter's Cow. He's going to become an immovable object because even when he takes damage, he's going to heal it back up.
Whoa, he's going to be an unstoppable force and an immovable object spawn?
He is.
It was ridiculous. One thing I really love about V and playing Malphite is the fact that Onslaught of Shadows and Unstoppable Force are both very similar in execution. Like, you want to be diving into the backline, but after you use Unstoppable Force, you just need to slam the rest of your buttons. It's like easy mode Hecarim. Like, V must be having a field day. He's like, oh, it's the best.
I don't know how you're playing Hecarim, but I'm just slamming my buttons on that champion, just Rafflecopter.
Yeah, but at least you still have to move around afterwards. Everyone's in the sky after you press R with a Malphite, whereas they're all running away from you. A bit frustrating.
They do come back, I promise.
They do? Okay.
Here we go, though. We have a setup dive. V does have the Unstoppable Force up and available. We'll see if Flandre's in an immovable object.
He's surprised.
And the rocket.
Oh, that is going to be the... And the teleport coming in as well to make sure that that minion wasn't going to be used. V just tanking so much damage, despite having no armor just yet.
I was going to say, he's actually going to be surprisingly tanky against magic damage. Rocket took half of his health, on the other hand.
The coordination.
Yeah, really well executed there. They will be able to grab the top lane turret. All of a sudden, they've shut Flandre down early. And what other win condition does Snake have going into this set? A lot of pressure on you.
That was a gorgeous rocket. I can't get over that. That's
Beautiful.
so difficult to hit from across map.
So the way that you should coordinate that
so good.
is you should tell the Malphite where the rocket is going to end up,
Yep.
and then he should ult the person when they walk in that area. Too many people try and say, look, I'm going to ult here and then get the Jinx to follow up. So that was started by TNT and clutched out by V.
Or just controlled, orchestrated.
Engineered.
The
Manufactured.
puppet master.
Yeah.
You guys are out of control.
What? That was you. What the heck? You just said pulverize. Okay, I don't even understand. Swift is going to get caught out here. The headbutt. Ella decides not to use the pulverize, as you is just going to be a stepping stone. Wow, that was really cool, as you actually may die for it here, as the wild growth onto Swift is going to be saving him. TCT with a decent ultimate there to cut off the area, as Ella, he's going to sacrifice himself. The unbreakable will of Ella is, as it appears, breakable.
And I feel like you just caught the beast as easy. It was like, watch this, guys. I got him.
I'm bending it, guys.
And then he was like, why am I on this side of the wall with the Lulu? This isn't good. Yeah, that's just, once again, a little bit of a miscommunication. A good collapse coming through from QG. And QG right now just looks like they're rolling full steam ahead.
But Snake shouldn't be trying to fight on this side of the map at all. There's such a big advantage for Qiao Gu, not only because they picked up all those extra free kills in the jungle, but they're winning in the mid lane and they're winning in the bottom lane. Fight towards top.
They're winning top as well.
Yeah,
like
well, it's a Malphite. He doesn't care. It's like winning lane, I'm an R button.
Okay, how about this?
Lane when you're
Why
just an
are
R
Snake
button?
walking in and trying to challenge for vision or place any sort of offensive ward?
Yeah, I know.
I think they just want to do something.
Wait.
Yeah.
Wait for Azir. Wait for Kog'Maw.
Well, V continues to farm out there on the top side. Flandre makes his way back towards it after taking down these Krugs, I would assume. Beast we haven't really seen much of, but he does have a warrior in check, so that's cool.
Probably looking to see whether he can swing any team fight back in his team's favor. They've got really no tank apart from Ella.
They haven't played a tank this entire series against a team like Qiao Gu, which I think goes back to the point you were making earlier, that this is a skirmish-based team fighting team. They want to cause chaos. They want to split the fight up, and they have a lot of tools to do that with the Azir Emperor's Divide to kind of create two different fronts. But unfortunately, against Qiao Gu, they're just too well coordinated with that Jinx rocket and that initial gank, but even more so in the 5v5 chaos.
Yeah, 100%. And that's what you've seen out of Snake the whole time. They want to skirmish, split them up, and use things like the Fiora, like the Olaf to be able to run people down. But QG is just way too good at A, starting the fight themselves, so it never gets to that point. B, if they do get engaged on, they collapse really well around key members like Doinb, like TNT. And now with Doinb on Lulu, it becomes even easier to execute upon. Snake just don't have an answer.
Lulu with the Rod of Ages as well, already completed now, 14 minutes. I'm not entirely sure when he got that one, but Lucidity Boots are there as well to make up for the lack of cooldown reduction that comes from that first item.
He's looked across the rift and what's in comparison to, it is only the makings of the
a cup and a book, my friend.
Athene's Unholy Grail, and it's going to mean that it's a very expensive item, but it's supposed to keep you safe. He's already died once, not really doing its job so far, and Doinb has been the lane bully that we don't expect out of Lulu if she doesn't take Ignite. Fantastic lane bully with Ignite, but with Teleport should technically be a little bit more unsafe. Hasn't been the case.
Swift is just going to walk at Martin. Super Mega Death Rocket comes in. It's a point-blank cocoon. As now Swift has to use the repel, tries to get out of there. Moonfall comes down as Flandre comes in with the teleport. Doinb over on the backside. He's got the wild growth. No one in danger of dying as Flandre just turns it right back around to him. The passive now on.
I say this
kite away
all the time. Qiao Gu is the perfect support system for Swift, but hold on, round two.
Yep, that's the flash in from Ella. Not entirely sure what they're going to get out of it, but there's the Unstoppable Force in the back line. A double knock-up when the Glacial Fissure comes in as well as Swift. He has to be very careful. It's already 2 kills for Snake as they're trying to turn this one. He's doing some extra damage in the back line as well, and finally QG starting to get the kills, and TNT so excited about potentially getting to Worlds, or at least getting to the next match that could get him there.
And TNT just kited the heck out of that team fight. You know, they finally got what they were looking for, the split blunts. Azir created the zone on the back end where all the carries were. They were collapsing on the Malphite, but he's just way too durable at this stage of the game, and TNT went bonkers.
So look at how this starts out. So Ella does lock them up. Again, look at how low the health is, but here's the flanking play from V. We've split up the fight, you've got the Emperor's Divide, but like you said, the fact that V is so big, keeping all of these carries apart, and TNT is so far ahead of the clock, he's got the completed Infinity Edge. Jinx gets the most out of the Infinity Edge over any other AD carry because she's getting AoE crits at this point, that it's just, Qiao Gu can deal with Snake's front line, and Snake cannot deal with Qiao Gu's front line.
Well, Ella might actually die here as well as he gets caught by the cocoon. So much chain CC. Nice triple knock up there with the pulverizers. I don't even think he realized that he was dying as Swift just locks it down with the Q towards the end.
You help me!
Yeah.
You're already
I have nothing
dead.
for you, sir. Yeah.
I think I am dead.
We've heard that one before. But one thing I want to talk about is the fact that Doinb hit the most incredible Glitter Lance into the Super Mega Death Rocket on the back of that particular
for the double
fight.
kill?
It was so beautiful to watch. QG, they're team fighting so well. And what this is telling me is that Invictus Gaming's team fighting must have improved so incredibly far to have been able to get that 2-0 victory yesterday against this team that are still looking like the team fighting gods themselves.
Also, the big difference was IG's draft phase has been so incredibly strong. This
That's a
series
good point.
alone, Qiao Gu have improved dramatically from their draft from day 1 to day 2. Naturally, Invictus Gaming, EDG, created kind of a blueprint for that with their success. So we'll see how this goes. They have to survive this game, so don't want to get too far ahead of ourselves. But it is game, set, and point for Qiao Gu to move into that best of 5.
Yeah, and I like what you were talking about there, and I think the key differences is that QG look really active around the map right now, but what was happening is Zatai was keeping B down, and he wasn't able to make these proactive moves, and IG know how to play the map. Even in game 1, when Snake got so far ahead, it looked like they kind of dropped the ball and weren't able to really move around as a team. Invictus Gaming have looked like anything but that right now. Following around Zatai, following around Cacao, they're two big playmakers.
Yeah, and I think it's all on the back of Cacao's. Flandre and Doinb fighting one another here as Flandre turned into a seal, which I learned today.
I actually think that Zatai is the most improved player on the lineup. I think that Zatai is the difference. Sure, Cacao's always been great since he came over from Korea. What's the difference on IG right now? It's that Zatai is playing like a freak in the top lane.
He certainly is. There are a lot of top laners that are really finding their footing here, but at the moment, Flandre doing his very best. But on the Diana, against the Lulu. Malphite and the Lulu.
But this is what we talked about.
208 for this guy. Man.
The fact that Doinb has the teleport opens up the difference in how you stack and who you put into these side lanes. Doinb, please.
He's being so annoying. Oh my goodness. Flandre is back. Stopped one more time, meaning that QG able to take down the inner turret in the bottom lane. His teleport was up, but he just couldn't move. Couldn't get back to base, couldn't do anything.
And yes, Qiao Gu are better. Oh, hold on.
Yeah, Moonfall comes down here
You've
as
got
Flandre
wild
is slowing him down.
You
Yeah.
can't.
Doinb's just playing with him. There's the wild growth as Flandre. He wants the Pale Cascade back up. Lunar Rush is going to be used. Turned into a seal. The creeps are going to be able to do it. The Glitter Lance didn't land. Flandre survives, and that's the Prey Seeker. Beast says, yep, all me. 1v1, baby.
Super Mega Death Rocket!
Super Mega almost rocket is just going to hit Beast. Takes himself down a Krug, perhaps. I don't know.
So
In a sick trade.
Doinb looks for the outplay. It was all Beast, like you said. The Prey Seeker
all Beast,
right
baby.
on point. Talk about outplay. Hit your skill shots, mate.
Nice use of mate.
I got you.
Yeah.
The difference between these teams, not only the 5v5s and kind of the little, like Spawn was saying, that Snake are just, they look a little bit sloppy. They look a little bit off. The small micro transactions are just slightly off, slightly tilted. But the mid-game decision-making from Qiao Gu, their ability to pull the trigger and make this siege count with their composition back-to-back has kind of been the real breadwinner for me here, and why Qiao Gu are coming up so far on top of Snake.
I actually really like QG's, V's build there in the top lane. Going for the Aegis, now has himself the Frozen Heart. If he gets into the back line,
He's just a boulder.
Why
Yeah.
do you like that?
I don't know, I just do. Something about it makes me feel good.
He's going to be solo diving, people,
Yeah, but him
and he
and
has
Swift
an
have
Aegis.
double Aegis.
But he's going to be by himself.
Is he though?
Who's going to be able to follow the Malphite?
TCT will. He'll just stand behind him, man.
Oh, I want an Indiana Jones Malphite skin. How good would that be?
Indiana Jones?
Yeah, I'm just imagining the boulder that comes crashing down. And if
Wait,
Malphite
wait.
had like an Indiana Jones hat, like
And
a
the
little whip.
seismic shard is actually just a little Indiana Jones that
No.
you throw out in front of you.
I was going to say it could be the whip or even the hat, but yeah, we just throw Indiana Jones and chase him.
Yeah, and the Malphite skin is actually just a rock. I like it. I think it's good.
So it will
Ship it.
probably be a banner of command on the
Put that one for
Malphite.
later.
The reason, so I thought this is what you were going with, is that against a magic damage top laner like Diana, which will be a split pushing answer, you can't really control the wave as well. Banner of Command actually gives you that tool back in your favor. All of a sudden she has to auto attack it down. Hail Cascade doesn't do as much if it's a Banner of Command minion, so I like that out of the Aegis pickup. If he's going for a locket, I really dislike the item because he's going to be solo diving onto people and it's actually really expensive.
Well, we highly doubt it, I guess, because there is already a locket there for Swift. So probably is going to be the Banner of Command. I actually forgot about it when I was talking about the item pickups. So that makes a bit of sense there, Spawn. I like it. I actually would have liked to see the Abyssal Scepter, though. That's another thing you were right about. Bit of damage.
Again,
you can do it, man.
Doinb just mirroring Flandre.
There he goes. Oh.
They're looking for it. Snake got out just a little bit. Jungle department. Thief has to get his way out with the tunnels.
How did that get there? Doinb just shepherding the creeps.
Skippy. Back into the mid lane. Oh, there's the flash ensemble force onto Ella, the only person. There's another knock-up, though, this time from Snake. As they're trying to get into the backline, Yu is going to fall. TNT picks up the kill somehow as Beast. He goes down for the double. TNT is just going off. Massive damage. Triple kill now. Blows the heal to avoid dying to the turret. As now TNT gets the Quadra. Martin now has to try and deny the pentakill. Does so very, very effectively as Doinb now has to deal with his damage. A Cathian surprise. Won't do anything to V. Well, it will. Getting close to death, but my gosh.
This is the difference between Qiao Gu and Snake. This is how we came to the series. Look at how decisive they are about pulling the trigger. There's no wasted effort. There's no floundering around the map. They identify the objective, they pull the trigger, and they execute so well.
And look at what it does when you have 5 members on the same play. That was an unstoppable force onto an Alistar. That's all it hit. Yeah. But he was that tanky. He stays in the back lane. He went with a look at the Alistar.
Oh my god, he did. Okay.
So he was able to dive onto the back line and just completely occupy the time of the Kog'Maw, of the Azir. That meant that there was just no follow-up damage to go onto the other members of QG.
Shout out to Ella, though. He got a massive knock-up there in the back line. But where was the Emperor's Divide? Like, where
it came out.
It did, but I just didn't see it really impact the team
So what it
fight.
did is it split Malphite from everyone else. And the problem is they just can't kill Malphite at this point.
They're too far ahead at this point. It would have been a fantastic Emperor's Divide if Qiao Gu weren't 10k gold up and Malphite wasn't so far ahead of the clock. He was able, so like the big thing is he's tanking the tower for so long that it pretty much just opens the door for Qiao Gu to just run through. The tower didn't exist. So Snake needed to either decide this is an unsafe place because this tower doesn't mean anything.
Oh my goodness. Well, luckily the Iron Slurry was completed. That's the 3rd dragon dead, so a bit of extra movement speed. May mean that V isn't going to miss his flash too much.
It doesn't even matter who he hits. Like, he didn't even need to hit the unstoppable force. He just needed to tank the tower. That's what that
He just
team
needed to get in there, man.
To.
And he got in there. That was fine. I was talking about him missing as in really wanting to have his flash, not missing
Beast?
skill shots. Beast is totally dead. That is a super dead Rek'Sai. Super Mega Death Rocket's going to secure that kill. All me, says TNT. A lot of kill sharing going on this game. I like it.
9-1 and 6. It has been a lot of TNT. He's had... This is what we expected coming into playoffs from TNT. You know, he was
15 out of 17 kills as well. Anticipated in by the Jinx.
But he was dominated by Im. And then it kind of just stayed at that point as V back in the fight.
Yep, there's the unstoppable force. Flandre is going to use his Zhonya's Hourglass very nicely to avoid that damage as he's trying to get into the backline. TNT just kites it out, is able to pick up the kill. There's the zap, long range, not going to find Ella just yet, but they are still going to be able to get on top. Another double kill for the Jinx as Martin has to use the Blade of the Ruined King. QG just right in there underneath you with a fantastic Emperor's Divide. QG, they do have to get out. But V is so big,
and he just walks through the other turret.
Doesn't even matter. Okay.
So V, augmented by Doinb, just does not care about structures right now. We'll be able to shrug off a lot of this Baron damage as well, and they have started it up. Need to be careful because Flandre has the teleport.
Yeah, you trying to get some damage down here as well as QG just hanging out towards the back of the pit. All as a unit here, they're taking a heck of a lot of damage. TCT probably going to die. The back of the pit, not a safe place, but they are going to be able to take down the Baron. Beautiful exhaust as well as TNT takes down 2. That's the unofficial quadra kill as Flandre wants to feed himself in here as well. Seems like he probably won't. May want to stay alive as Martin's there. And Ella, Super Mega Death Rocket, not going to find the Kog'Maw.
Doinb?
He's got his bait, man.
He doesn't have his ultimate.
No,
Okay,
he's
misses
just
the glitter
relying
lens as well.
entirely on Whimsy.
What the
Yep.
heck just happened?
Whimsy can't outrun Kog'Maw range.
That's an auto attack. You can't outrun that no matter what you do.
That's what I'm saying.
That's not true, actually.
Oh, you can actually outrun it.
Have you not seen the Super Boomerang in the Rabbiss?
Outruns the auto attack until it dissipates?
So he gets Baron buff. Oh no, it wasn't an auto attack. It was a, I apologize, it was an Akali Q.
Yeah, the Akali Q. Yeah, I know that one.
And he runs quick enough to be able to recall back to base.
Oh, silly. But no, auto attacks, I think, generally pretty guaranteed, aren't they? Unless you use Zhonya's or something, become untargetable in some way.
Let's be fair. He just walked up to Martin and let him slap him in the face.
Yeah, he did. He just got spat on.
And then just
For
lost
fun.
his Baron, which is actually fairly important because he's the guy that's spending most of his time out into the
he's going
side
back
lanes.
into the bottom lane.
Yeah, mirroring across from Flandre, so Doinb.
He's just giving them something to...
Disapproving look.
I don't understand Doinb. That was just weird.
But that's
4
part
out
of
of
his
Jinx,
charm,
though.
you know? You don't have to understand Doinb.
No. You just have to know that he's Doinb. You don't have to understand what he's doing. See, look
I
at him
love that
bubbling
skin.
his way forward. Very cute.
Skin salesman.
I'm telling you, Indiana Jones Malphite.
Oh yeah, no, rock Malphite.
This is what I wanted to say. Malphite is V's spirit animal. Like, if there was ever a champion that's so perfect for everything that he wants to
You
do.
realize that Malphite isn't an animal, though. As he's posturing again.
What would you define him as? Entirely sure. They
A
are going
rock?
to go for this siege though. That's half of the turret down. Rock is an inanimate object.
I would
Spawn.
still...
Isn't he a legitimate mountain that woke up?
Oh yeah.
So he's a rock.
Yeah, but he's still alive. Can a rock be alive? Oh,
I had a
that's
pet
a cocoon.
rock.
Lands onto you. DCT tanking the turret for a moment. You had a pet rock. Sounds pretty cool. We're trying to mix in some play-by-play with talking about rocks as pets and whether or not they're alive. The turret is going to fall down. QG, they find their way in. That's going to be a Zhonya's again, but Martin gets knocked up. The Glacial Fissure not going to find the Kog'Maw as he's round the side. TNT trying to get in there. The Crescent Slash is there. The Wild Growth not enough. As Snake, they're trying to fight back. QG, they're low on mana, especially there as Swift. He's going to fall. Snake, they may have found their way back in. The inhibitor hasn't fallen, and Doinb just backs away.
Target selection was atrocious for Qiao Gu right there. They literally were chasing Flandre, and to Flandre's credit, surviving so long did burn the Zhonya's, but Flandre was right next to you and Martin. For a majority of that fight, Kog'Maw and Azir were standing perfectly still, and the rest of Qiao Gu like high-fived them as they continued to chase into Diana.
Yeah, and the thing was is that you just put out so much damage. Let's take a look at it. You can see you on the top side of the fight gets a good ultimate here, and then is just able to continually put out Sand Soldiers to auto-attack. And
Look at
he's
these
just
two.
auto-attacking everything.
Yeah, Super Mega Death Rocket not going to do anything at all. As TNT actually zoned himself with the enemy base gate plus turret combo.
I'm
and
really
he flashed to the side, so didn't have any way to get out of that particular
I'm
situation.
disappointed that that replay cut off, because from that point, Martin and you just stand on the top side right underneath their Nexus towers and just slap people.
Just auto-attack. It was just really weird, and you know, Malphite makes even more sense now because he slows the attack speed of Azir as well, and that's what you saw beautifully at the start of that fight. That's why you took a long time to ramp up. But once Malphite could no longer commit to attacking you by himself, because he just doesn't have the damage to finish him off, you could definitely see that Senpai did go a little bit pear-shaped for the QG lineup. But realistically, 13k ahead, Dragon number 4, it's all good.
Spawn, what do you feel about 4th item Sunfire Cape? Take us through the pickup.
Oh, goodness.
I refuse.
Okay, so I'll take this one. The problem with...
No, we've done. That's the outcome that I was looking for. That was perfect. That was beautiful. That's all we need. Not happy, Jan, I think is the option. You can if you want.
No, go for it. Take us through it,
The
please.
problem with 4th item Sunfire Cape is it's just a very inefficient item in terms of its cost effectiveness and the stats that you're going to get out of it. So you build it early because it's about pushing your lane and getting control of that 1v1 scenario. So if you're outside of lane phase, you would pretty much build any other armor item.
I would say Tiamat right now is better than that item.
What about Abyssal Set? You've got abilities.
If you're going to go for an armor item, it should have been Randuin's Omen.
Yeah, 100%. Or Dead Man's Plate.
What about a Thornmail?
should have been Randuin's Omen.
Okay. Yeah.
Deadman's played so good. There's no crit.
Maybe you can switch out his summoner spells mid-game and grab a Cinderhawk.
But I'm just saying in terms of just straight defensive.
Oh, Swift actually landed the cocoon onto you. Takes a lot of damage for it as Doinb trying to keep Flandre busy.
Oh, rematch of the century.
It's hardcore stuff as TNT. He's got the augmentation. V just tanking up this turret can do so for a very long time. TNT, they actually don't have the Zeke's Harbinger just yet. Did run out, so...
The other thing that I quickly want to point out about Malphite is the way that his W works now is when he activates it, he gets so much that items like... Ooh, they go in.
Yeah, Elo does get the knock-up. TNT very, very low. No Lulu to boost him up as Doinb now going to get in with the teleport. But that's a lot of the damage missing here from the Qiao Gu line-up. Flandre takes the Glitter Lance, but you can see now Snake able to move forward. They've got a lot of damage potential. There's the Flash. Emperor survived. Swift can't get out. Oh, yes, he can. He can just get straight over onto the Grump, and that's a lot wasted. Try and lock down a very slippery Spider Lady.
But the issue here is that Qiao Gu aren't setting up the fights. The Unstoppable Force is still online. None of these ultimates are being used. They're just being picked off. So they are running a split push pressure with Lulu in the top lane. Did manage to grab that inhibitor, so not an overall bad trade, but Snake, you know, we said what are their win conditions? You wait for Azir and Kog'Maw, and guess what? Time's up.
Yeah, and TNT can't get caught like that. He's so much of the team's damage.
Yeah, they're getting stronger right now, Kog'Maw and Azir. But there's still only 2 items completed each. On the other side of that, you have so much, but it's just this over and over again.
Where are you going?
Beast doesn't get the knock-up. This Doinb's just playing with it.
The last time that happened, he died to an auto attack. Right there.
It's true. Probably should be rekindling some memories.
Adventure time with Doinb.
Yeah. Fusion time. What not to do with Doinb.
We'll have to see whether V can close this out, because part of the challenges with best of 5s is how you play the entirety of the season. Do you, I guess, have mental faith? Is this going to be something that affects their game against the Invictus Gaming lineup, who are waiting for them after this? They will be able to grab a Baron, however.
Yep, there's the cocoon. Repel is going to get Swift back into the pit, secures the Baron.
Yeah, just think about this as a stamina thing, like Spawn is trying to say, that if Qiao Gu can't, you know, clinically clean this out for how far ahead they were able to ramp the game and snowball it, they have another best of 5 should they win here. Against Invictus Gaming, who the last time they fought, it went to all 5 games. So the stamina required, the mental fortitude, they look like they're coming unhinged a bit.
A little bit, or maybe they just look like they're enjoying themselves. I'm still not entirely sure.
Doinb's definitely enjoying himself.
That's what I'm sort of referring to. Like, it's just really quite strange out of QG. And they can't give Snake opportunities. I mean, you think about this team comp in the late game. Azir is going to be doing a heck of a lot of damage. Martin as well.
That is still a distant dream right now.
It is.
The late game.
It is, Spawn, but you know, you got to stay optimistic.
Oh, they're going once again for Doinb.
Yeah, he gets the knock up. Doesn't get knocked up himself. As Beast is just going to come out of the ground and go, dang it, I wish I could see.
And all of a sudden, Siege in the bottom lane is well and truly underway.
Yeah, well, Martin as well. That's a very excited Jinx. Rocket's doing so much damage as you just going to get taken down from the flank here as TNT. What the heck are you doing? Rocket's now doing a heap of AoE as he flashes his way out, and Ella going to get stunned up. Ultimate not quite enough now as TNT, he's just fighting on the fountain. Beast is going to get destroyed. Double kill now for the Jinx. Super Mega Death Rocket sails into nowhere, and Snake are melting on their fountain. Stop it. What are you doing, guys? Doinb is going to sacrifice himself. It's a triple kill for Martin, but it doesn't matter as V stays immortal this game and TNT finishes off the Nexus.
And sometimes it's about sending a message, apparently. And the message right now is that Doinb wanted to have some fun at the end of that game, and TNT felt like joining him.
I think during. I think he, like, that skin gets to his head and Doinb goes, haha, this game's fun, and then just does silly stuff.
The important thing, however, is Qiao Gu are one best of 5 away from a stint on the world stage. So Snake are out. Sorry, everyone. But the Team Fighting Kings prevail, and they will face Invictus Gaming.
Yeah, Invictus Gaming looking like Team Fighting Kings themselves at the moment, so definitely tough competition to meet there at the top of the bracket. And EDG, they looked reinvigorated yesterday, even with Amazing J there in the top lane, but IG really took it to them. Like, this was EDG that was looking like they were at the top, and
the difference between EDG and IG yesterday was deft. Like,
Yep.
that was 100%, you know, Rookie and Pawn. Rookie played really well. Pawn had flashes of brilliant play, and then was probably just a little bit behind Rookie in terms of how well Rookie was playing. Like, Cacao versus Clearlove, both having very good games, but deft in those series just looked like an absolute monster.
a man-possessed Spawn.
And the reason that I bring it up is that TNT, at the end of that set, started to look like the end of the split TNT that we'd expected. This AD carry that was steamrolling into the playoffs. Had a little bit of a lull during the playoffs itself, and now it looks like he's really ramping up. So pressure on Kid. Can he keep the newfound form that he's had for the last couple of weeks and push IG through to the Worlds?
And can he find consistency? That's my biggest challenge for Kid, is we've seen flashes of brilliance. We've seen amazing play out of this guy, but it's just not every game. You can't rely on this man to be incredible every single time he steps out into the Rift, which is something that you can say about the likes of Imp and Deft a lot of the time as well. But look, we'll see what is going to happen. But ladies and gentlemen, congratulations to QG and condolences to Snake. Unfortunately, not going to be making it to Worlds this time around.